Good night. That was joyful old man Ruby, everybody. To be fair, he didn't say he was going to kill himself. He just said he was just going to hold it there. So that's probably not a cry for help.
Butter knife.
Yeah, exactly. It's a butter knife. Like, who cares? It's honestly like whatever. You get a neck tattoo over that. I thought you were gonna get super racist for a second there. You were like a step away from racist because like, yeah, you should just go back to where you came from and be the only comedian there. But just go back to where you came. Like, Jesus, Ruby, calm down. I said that trailer park thing. You can't double down. All right, guys. We got one last comic. We got a headliner. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
We can be a little bit more excited than that. Come on, everybody. Yeah. All right, your last comic on deck. Evan Wonderlick, everybody. Let's go, baby.
How's it going? I'm Emo Michael Sarah. Yeah. I'm a weird dude. Speaking of race stuff, I realized that the only country that you can go, like, I realized this about the British. This is what I just learned about the British. You can go anywhere and just go, fuck the British! No one cares. No one will care. I'll go on the subway, I'll go, fuck the British! No one cares, they just move cars, it's fine. It's how you get an extra seat. But like, it's weird if you do any other country, you know? If you just go, fuck Nigeria! See, it feels weird, you already feel dangerous, like, I'm gonna get shot. I know it's a room full of white people except for you, but it's like, and maybe Brick, I don't know. You're like in the middle, you're like, I look at you and I'm like, I can't do racist jokes to you, but maybe? No, the reason I figured that out is because like, I hooked up with a British chick recently, and she called me darling in bed. Yeah, right? A little emasculating. Like, do you pull out darlings in bed to men? All right. How about you? You call men darling? Do they look like you're like in bed? Like you're okay? See, you tried to treat him like a man, right? Like a real man. Like she saw me and she's like, this twink's a darling. You know? Like it felt very emasculating. And fuck you, she's British. She has a thick British accent. Fucking call me something British, you know? Call me like bloke governor, you know? Give me hard British cigarette, you know? Like, I would like that. That would be fun, you know? Yeah. I'm a weird fella. Like recently I got this haircut, and I'm a straight white man, you know, and I think I'm straight. I don't know, but I got this haircut, and it was at a fetish barber shop. Yeah, and it was a gay fetish barber shop, you know. So there's like dog masks and like whips and chains, and it's fun, you know. It's called the men's room. They give really good haircuts. But I'm a straight little white dude, and I don't want to look homophobic. You know, because like, imagine if you're called homophobic. It's almost on brand, you know? You're like, I got the face, but I'm not. You know, it sucks when people are like, you're homophobic. It's like, I'm not. I'm not nervous either. But like, this is what happened. I went to go get my hair cut. I was perfectly on time for my hair appointment. You know, it feels good, right? Like, on time, I just walk in, sit down in the chair, you know? But as soon as I like opened the door, my stomach dropped, you know? And my stomach was like, you gotta poop! And I was like, oh no! And I was like, oh, I can maybe reschedule. Oh, but I'm like right on time, you know, maybe I'm gay, I don't know. So I didn't want to cancel the hair appointment. And so I get in there and, you know, maybe I should use the bathroom at the barber shop, right? No, it's a fetish shop. There's whips, there's chains, there's cameras, I was getting catcalled the entire time I was getting my hair cut. It was so much fun, you know? There was a guy who looked just like you. He was sitting there and he's just like, look at the boy, get us. And he couldn't finish his sentences. I was that horny, you know? He was like, love that little boy. I'm like, it's getting creepy, bro. You know, like, but the whole time I fucking built up like a man. I just clenched, you know, and then just walked over and was like, hello, hi, I'm not homophobic, I just have to poo, you know? But I didn't tell him that, you know? So I just sat down and I looked really nervous, and you know, you don't want to be that guy, because like, I'm from Oshawa, that's why I look like I do drugs, okay? You know? That's why I also act like I do drugs, you know? But like, no, it's, so even being from the schwa, you know, they're like, you're homophobic, you're from a dirty place. I'm like, I'm not, it's fine, I just need to poo, you know? But then after I got my hair cut, and I didn't have to go anymore. I clenched for an hour long, and my body was like, fuck it. do all day, you know? Fuck you then. You know, why do our bodies do that? You've had to hold in a poo so long, you've had those 8-hour shifts, you're like, fuck this, then it just goes away. You know, and then I was like, screw it, I'll go to this bookshop. And it was a gay bookshop, you know, it had Clive Barker books and books on Freddie Mercury and all the gay authors. And I walked in there, and as soon as I walked in there, I saw the flag, and I just went, oh, fuck, no! Because I had to go so bad. And then I realized that looks the most homophobic. Just walking into a bookshop filled with gay merch and going, no! Fuck! And then booking it down the street, you know? It was on brand, it was on Church Street, so it's all fun. I don't know. I'll leave you with this. This is my impression of a cool baby. Wham! Alright, thanks.
Keep it going for the coolest baby in comedy, everybody. That was epic. Thank you guys for coming. I will say, though, if you develop a Freudian response of having to shit every time you see a pride